Welcome, listeners, to An Industry's Insight, the podcast where we're all about the entertainment world, such as music, publishing, marketing, film, advertising, managing, business, and more. I am your host, Dino Ciccarelli.
And I'm Thomas Grabuznik, and we are broadcasting live from the WFTU studios in Dix Hills, New York.
Right, so we're here for episode 2. We got some things to talk about in the entertainment world, with both music, movies, and also some of the business side as well. So going into our first topic, we're going to be talking about the company Base Holograms is producing a concert tour to celebrate the life of musician Amy Winehouse. They're producing a concert tour to celebrate the life of musician Amy Winehouse, who died in 2011 due to the accidental alcohol poisoning. The company has been quoted saying, utilizing the state-of-the-art proprietary technology, the production will launch towards the end of 2019, featuring digitally remastered arrangements of her classics. The hologram will be backed by a live band, singers, and theatrical stagecraft. The concerts will be produced as a partnership with the late singer's family, who are 100% on board with the production. Amy Winehouse's father was actually quoted saying, "To see her perform again is something special that really can't be put into words. Our daughter's music touched the lives of millions of people, and it means everything that her legacy will continue in this innovative and groundbreaking way." Now, years ago, they had done plenty of different hologram concerts. The first major one being the hologram of Tupac Shakur. That was around I think 2011. When that happened, everyone went crazy. They're like, "Oh my God, this looks real. It looks like he was really on stage and everything." And judging from the pictures, it was really cool. I'm pretty sure they did something with the hologram for Michael Jackson as well a couple years ago. But to see them doing this again, and they're saying that they're using new technology in order to get her on stage. I feel like that's pretty cool. What do you think about it?
I think it's pretty cool having a hologram like that to see someone perform who's been
Deceased.
Or I think that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall the Tupac or the Michael Jackson. I don't ever recall ever hearing or seeing about that.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds pretty cool. It'd be really cool if they could do that with other musicians as well.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty cool as well. How her family's on board as well. Because some people, they'd be like, "Oh, well, you only want to do it because of the money and everything." Based on what her father said, that they want her legacy to live on because her music has touched a lot of people. Her song Valerie is one of her most famous songs. Rehab is also one of her most famous songs. A lot of people use those songs, and she has that the voice that is just you could point out that it's her. She has a strong voice and everything. I just think it's really cool, especially since they're incorporating a live band and vocalists and more stage work and stuff as well. I think that's pretty cool.
I'm very interested now to see it, just to see how it's gonna be done and how the hologram's gonna look on stage with a live band with them.
Yeah,
or with her.
Yeah, especially because from what it says, it looks like they're doing digitally remastered, of course, because they gotta turn it into a hologram. I can only imagine how it would look with her just going back and forth and everything. I can only imagine one, how much money it's gonna take to put all this stuff together. But it'd be pretty interesting to see how it all turns out.
So now we go on to topic number 2. Lindsey Buckingham, former singer and guitarist of Fleetwood Mac, is suing the group after involuntarily being removed from the band back in January. Buckingham has stated that he lost an estimated $12 million from the upcoming tour they planned. The reason of his departure from the group is currently unknown. And Buckingham helped write Fleet Mac's well-known track "Go Your Own Way." I'm very curious on his departure from the group. I'm very curious on why.
Yeah, because just to get rid of like your singer and your guitarist after him being in the band since like the 70s,
Especially after announcing the tour.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Because you'd kick someone out, find a new singer, and then announce the tour.
yeah. And it's clearly not something like a family issue or whatever going on. It's like they fired him and he clearly responded because, it's not, he's suing them because that's a lot of money. That $12 million, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess in coming times with more information on the story, we can always talk more about it. But, like, it's unfortunate, it's someone losing their job isn't really the greatest thing in the world.
Especially if they're good.
Yeah. Especially, like, since you're saying how he was the main writer for Go Your Own Way. It's one of their most popular songs. Like, that song is, like, the first song I think of when I think of Fleetwood Mac. So,
literally reading the title, you can't help. Like, you try to not sing it.
Yeah. It's a catchy song,
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting to...
I mean, I get it if they kicked them out for, like, reasons the public doesn't need to know.
Yeah.
As long as they state, like...
Or like with Panic at the Disco, with their guitarist, he was accused of talking with a minor and asking to exchange photos with each other. Like, that, I think, is a good reason to fire your guitarist,
Very good reason.
Yeah. So they're kind of in the same thing, Luckily, it kind of all happened at the end of the first leg of the tour. They performed at the iHeartRadio Festival. That was their guitarist's last performance with them, and then everything kind of like came out of the bag, and then they got rid of him. They got a new guitarist, and like they already just came back from their Australia tour. They're about to start up the second leg of the tour in January, but this is a little strange, like just out of the blue,
Just kick him out.
Yeah.
Your singer and your guitarist.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't...
It doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
Because if it was something like in Panic at the Disco's, like in their situation, they would have said something.
Yeah.
Like,
it would have been stated right then and there.
Yeah. I mean, granted, with Panic at the Disco, it was a fan going out on Twitter revealing what everything happened. So, I mean, we don't know if anything happened, if Lindsey Buckingham did anything, but I don't think so, just because he's suing them. I feel like everyone that has been accused or determined guilty, it's like, I feel like they're more ashamed to put their name back in the public, like the Panic's guitarist. Ever since everything went down, he's been silent on social media. Like, he hasn't said anything, and like Panic went as far as to muting out parts of their live show and like cropping him out of videos and stuff. Like, you can clearly tell Panic was upset about it, but if it were like the same thing, like Kenny, their old guitarist, I don't think would sue them, Like, if say something like that were to happen to me, I would be more ashamed to like put my name back out in the public, especially after something like that. I mean, we don't know what happened, so we're just gonna have to wait and see
if anything's revealed.
Yeah, if any details are revealed, which it should, because if he's suing them, there's gonna be like some sort of court case or some sort of trial to determine what's going on.
You are listening to an Industries Inside podcast. We are broadcasting from the WFTU studios in Dix Hills, New York.
So the WWE, they're under fire for holding an upcoming pay-per-view or considered live event called WWE Crown Jewel in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, after the disappearance and possible assassination of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, if I'm pronouncing that right. In the past couple of days, the WWE had actually pulled the event from the calendar on their website, but it was actually revealed that it was removed by mistake, and how the show is currently on schedule. But the WWE, they have stated how they're looking into the situation. They're trying to get all of the details before they do anything regarding like canceling the show or moving the event to a new venue. Now, it's going to be a little bit tough for them if they full on cancel the event, because, you know, like they've got a bunch of storylines going on that lead up to Crown Jewel. They just did a show, Super Showdown in Melbourne, Australia, where they kind of set up the main event for Crown Jewel being The Undertaker and Kane versus Shawn Michaels, who's coming out of retirement, and Triple H. They're planning on doing this huge tournament called the World Cup Tournament to determine who's the best in the world. Their words, not mine.
Yeah.
So, and they've already started booking towards it. Like, they have those two. They have the tournament. They have the tag team match, and of course, they already announced a month and a half ago, or about a month ago, the triple threat match for the Universal Championship, being Roman Reigns defending against Braun Strowman and the returning Brock Lesnar. And also at Super Showdown, they set up the match for the WWE Championship, that being AJ Styles defending his title against Daniel Bryan. So they've got a whole bunch of matches already lined up for this event. You know, it's going to be at the beginning of November. So it's like there's not a whole lot of time for them to be just canceling the event, you know? I think...
And there's no reason, right? There's no, like, information behind why it was canceled, quote unquote.
Well, it wasn't canceled. They pulled it from their website, and they said that it was removed from their website by mistake. How when they were editing the website, somebody removed it by accident. So that kind of like lit a spark, like, oh, the WWE, like they're doing the right thing, and they're just not going to Saudi Arabia because, you know, like with everything going on in their government. I mean, I don't really know all of the details regarding the Saudi Arabia government. They were just there in April for the Greatest Royal Rumble event. So it's going to be very interesting with the next couple of weeks to see what's going on, because, you know, there's a bunch of people who are really calling out the WWE. Like the other day, you know, the guy, John Oliver, he does like a late night type of show, but it's like a lot of politics.
Yeah, I know he is.
So he actually spoke out regarding the whole situation. He's saying, you know, like, because in reality, he thinks that they're not doing the right thing of going to Saudi Arabia after everything that's happened, you know, with the disappearance of this journalist, and they're saying how he's possibly killed. Like, that's crazy, and he was possibly killed by orders of the leader of Saudi Arabia. But it's gonna be very interesting, because I feel like they shouldn't cancel the event.
Well, you said that they've been there before.
Yeah, they were there this past April.
Yeah, so why would... I don't think anything... Because if something was going to happen, it probably would have happened back then.
That's true, but, you know, I'm pretty sure from what I read, how when they...
Was it...
when they went to Saudi Arabia back in April for the Greatest Royal Rumble, that was right after the new leader of the Saudi Arabia took power. I don't even know what to think about it. I honestly think they shouldn't cancel the event. If anything, they should really move it to somewhere else. I think maybe moving it to another venue in another country or something, maybe a little bit safer for them. But it's kind of tough because, you know, WWE and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they signed like a 10-year deal. Meaning that in the next 10 years, they'll be going to Saudi Arabia, having all of these events multiple times. So it's going to be very crazy. You know, WWE's, they're making a lot of money from these shows. That's why they're going there, you know. They're also making a lot of more money with moving SmackDown to Fox.
They're doing that.
Yeah, they're moving SmackDown Live to Fox.
Is Raw staying on?
Yeah, Raw is staying on USA. They're moving them to Fox next October, so they're gonna be making a lot of money with that deal. So I don't think the money thing is an issue. I feel like regarding the situation of politics and government being brought into it, I feel like WWE should kind of step back from this one a little bit. A really cool thing that I think they should do is possibly moving the event to the UK. You know, the WWE has a huge fan base over in the UK.
Be safer.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I want to their event that happened in, was it earlier this year? It was, what month was it?
In April?
Yeah, April.
Yeah, the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Was it secured? Like, was there a lot of good security there, or was it like?
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the way they had the stadium set up, it was like the floor seats was literally just the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, you can get floor tickets or whatever. Like, they had that whole area sectioned off for the royal family. So I would assume that they would have the whole place secured. But I mean, I don't really know. But I guess we'll see how it moves on.
How it rolls out.
Yeah, because having these events where there's a potential safety hazard is never
A good thing.
a good thing. A couple of years ago, there was a huge issue at Survivor Series. I think it was 2015, when there was threats of someone going into the stadium with bombs and setting them off. So like, they had a whole lot of security put during that event. So it's gonna be interesting to see how WWE responds to it. Right now, they said that they're just looking into the situation before they do anything regarding canceling and moving the event. But I guess we'll just wait and see as time rolls on.
Yeah.
All right.
So for the second week in a row, Venom has been on top at the box office. The film has done better than Sony expected, delivering a second weekend at the #1 spot. The competing films include A Star is Born, First Man, and Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween. Venom earned over $80 million at the box office, but in its second weekend, it only earned $35.7 million. That's an estimated 55% drop in sales, but continued to beat out the film stated before. And the film is performing similarly to Marvel's 2017 release, Logan, in which ticket sales dropped around 57% in its second weekend in theaters.
I feel like what really hindered a little bit with ticket sales, because I feel like Venom could have probably made more, was really the critics.
Yeah,
A week and a half before the movie came out, the critics were like, this movie's terrible.
yeah,
It had a Rotten Tomato score of like, 23 or something like that?
You ask anyone who didn't see it and just like, oh, I'm not gonna see it. The critics said that it's horrible.
Yeah. Honestly, we both saw it opening night.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most fun Marvel movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, they had a lot of action. There was comedy, but like not over excessive. They put it in the right spots.
They had enough comedy to not make it a comedy.
Yeah.
But how it was kind of just like a joke, having jokes in there. Like,
yeah. Because you don't want like a super, super dark movie or whatever.
DC.
But I feel like honestly Venom could have made more. I know when it was first announced, I was very, very hesitant. Based on like, how are you gonna have a Venom movie without Spider-Man?
See, I thought that too, but I feel like with Venom, with a lot of the villains, if they're big enough, you'll able to make the story without having the hero, and it seems that it would be easier to do a movie about the villain without the hero in it.
Yeah.
Because the villain's the main character. If you have the hero in it, the hero's gonna be the main character.
Yeah, it'll become
instead.
a Spider-Man movie.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So I feel like it was a smart thing that they didn't put Spider-Man in it, because then it would have been a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So
Well, I feel like with the Venom movie, it performed it exceeded my expectations. I really enjoyed the fact how different it is from when we first saw Venom on the big screen in Spider-Man 3.
big difference.
Yeah, having Venom, like the symbiote, be a character, I feel like was a really great job.
Yeah.
And we won't get into all the specifics just because of spoilers, and if our viewers haven't seen the movie yet, I definitely recommend it.
Definitely go see it. I've recommended it to multiple people so far. It's a really good movie. If you like Marvel, I liked Venom previous to this, but like after watching the movie, I really dig the idea of Venom, and especially because the movie kind of made him
He's kind of like an anti-hero.
and
Because you have like Venom, who is like he wants to bite everyone's heads off, and
Yeah.
and then you have Eddie Brock, who's like we can't kill people, you know.
got to be nice.
Yeah. So I feel like the mix between both characters flowed really well. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
How Tom Hardy actually voiced Venom for the film, so like he's literally playing off himself, which I thought
you
was
told me that,
really
yeah.
interesting. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it exceeded expectations. I really did not have high hopes for the film. Before I saw it, I was like, I'm not expecting this to be the greatest movie of all time. And, most superhero films are really not the greatest movies of all time, Like, you have all these cult classics and stuff. But, it for what it's worth, it's pretty good, It was the most anticipated film of the fall. And I feel like they're doing pretty well for themselves with the first 2 weekends are number one in the box office,
Especially since they have similar earnings and everything from their earnings and everything are very similar to Logan from last year. That's like, I kind of feel like that shows how well it's doing.
Yeah.
Now, it is a good movie.
And, and it also comes to show that it's not a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Like, it's a Sony film. So it's really cool, good for them. They wanted to set up this whole Spider-Man universe, and they started it off with Venom, because technically Spider-Man is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Spider-Man Homecoming was still a Sony film. They still work with Marvel for the character, so somewhere along the line he may show up in this new Spider-Verse that Sony's putting together. So it's gonna be an interesting couple of years for Sony. If they started off on a good foot with Venom, especially with since Tom Hardy was signed on for two more films.
Oh yeah.
So a Venom 2 and a Venom 3, I guess. It's gonna be very interesting to see how they work it out. And
well, is the animated Spider Sony or no?
yes,
It is.
yeah.
So Sony's going like all over the place.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if someone says like, "Who's your favorite superhero?" the go-tos are Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Those I feel like are the three most gone to superheroes. Yeah, you'll get like an occasional Iron Man, Captain America, and whatever. But like, in my opinion, whenever I've asked someone like, "Oh, who's your favorite superhero?" or whatever, or like even talking to kids, those are like the big three.
Those are definitely the big three, especially when you ask people who just see them like are not into depth in like the comics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree that Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman are the top three.
Yeah.
Number one. Top three superheroes. Venom did better than the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I mean,
trying to make the Joker and all them.
Yeah,
their own
trying to
film.
make the villains heroes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Suicide Squad had the potential to be a lot like Batman v Superman. It had the potential to be very good movies. And
Very good, yeah.
Suicide Squad was literally the Will Smith and Margot Robbie show featuring Joker. Like, you can't. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like Batman v Superman. It had the same dilemma of being a very good movie. You know, it would be the first time that both Batman and Superman were on screen together. So it just comes down to like, see, I don't even know. I don't even have a solution for DC. You know, with especially with everything going on that side of on DC, it's like you always hear like, oh, the movie's on, the movie's off. Is Ben Affleck going to be our Batman? He's not. We're going to get this person. Oh wait, this person fell out. Ben Affleck is back as Batman. So it's going to be very
Superman's
interesting.
changing, you know.
Yeah, like Henry Cavill is done as Superman. Like, what? Like even he was like, well, guys, what happened?
Oh, hello.
Hello. Definitely props to Sony. You know, they've tried so hard to get Spider-Man to be like their biggest franchise.
Yeah.
Within the movies, and you know they did a very good job with the Spider-Man trilogy. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. You know,
Good series.
I feel like it was really good. You know, thinking about it, everyone like says how Spider-Man 3 was a terrible movie. I wouldn't say it was a terrible movie. I would say
Definitely worst superhero movies out there.
it was the worst of the trilogy, in my opinion.
Definitely worst of the trilogy, but not the. It's not a horrible superhero movie.
Yeah, you know, you also got to throw in movies like Catwoman. That was a very bad movie. But yeah, like they've done a good job, you know. Then there is that whole thing with the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I feel like Andrew Garfield is a fantastic actor, you know. The first Amazing Spider-Man movie, it was pretty good. The second one, it was like, I don't know what you guys are doing. Like they were definitely trying to set up the Spider-Man universe back in 2012 when the first one came out. And then they just took a huge faceplant in 2014 when the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. Because like they literally left it on a cliffhanger with Rhino, and they were trying to set up the
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing.
the Sinister Six. They had the Sinister Six movie that was canceled. So props to Sony. You know,
Yeah.
good for them. They finally got it.
Yeah.
They just need to continue. They just need to start going up, you know. Marvel did it with Iron Man, and look at them now, 21 movies later, or 20 movies later. And now we're waiting for Infinity War Part 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sony's doing good because like the Spider-Man: Homecoming was good. Venom's good.
Yeah.
The animated series, the animated movie,
Yeah. Spider-Man into the
Spider-Verse. That's gonna be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Just from the trailers, I was very excited about
Yeah.
it. Like, this looks like it's going to be a fun Spider-Man movie. And yeah, it's a cartoon. It was geared toward like kids. But you know, like there's people who are like hardcore superhero fans who love Miles Morales as Spider-Man. You know, like
Yeah.
that's when they casted Tom Holland as Spider-Man. There's a lot of negative feedback because you know they're like, we're tired of seeing Peter Parker. We want to see Miles
different
Morales.
Spider-Mans, yeah.
We want to see. They were saying they wanted Donald Glover as Miles Morales, which I mean may have worked 10 years ago. You know, Childish Gambino.
oh, okay.
That's Donald Glover.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, so like there was a lot of negative feedback. You know, Tom Holland is a fantastic actor.
Cool to see Peter in high school.
In high school.
Instead of college.
Yeah.
See him being young, like that was really cool to see.
Sony has set the bar as to where they are with the Spider-Man universe. They just need to continue that momentum, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to say any spoilers regarding the movie, but if you haven't seen the movie, definitely go watch it. Stay till the end. Wait for the
stay until both.
Yeah, there's a mid-credit scene which sets up Venom 2. We're not going to get into it, but it was really cool.
It made you go like, yes, yes.
And then there's the final post-credit scene, which I think was really good as well.
It was good.
I wasn't expecting it.
Wasn't expecting it, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll leave you guys with that. Go see Venom.
Go see it.
Leave it at number 1 for the next couple of weeks.
And in the future, we will try to bring back up the other 3 topics that we talked about, not knowing what's really going on with them.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk again about the Buckingham with the Fleetwood Mac to see why he got kicked out.
Yeah.
If that still happens and everything, if he gets back in, who knows?
Yeah.
The WWE event about Saudi Arabia, and then especially base hologram I really want to see that just to see how it's going to look.
Yeah, I mean that's not going to happen until I think they said 2019. So
Oh well,
it's going to be
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Time will tell with everything.
So that's the end of the second episode of season 2 of an Industries Insight podcast. Make sure you go follow us on Facebook and Instagram to get the updates. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like our YouTube page and listen to the podcast if you missed it. So, until next time, I'm your host, Dino Ciccarelli,
And I'm Thomas Grabuznik.
and we will talk to you guys later.
Signing off.